Well, new Northern Territory Chief Minister Eva Lawler says she's confident crime issues that plagued Alice Springs last January are under control. Live now to Matt Cunningham in Darwin. And Matt, what changes have the government made to try and address those crime issues?
Well, there's a couple of things that they're doing. One is to have more police on the streets and more visible police presence. The other thing is to have more people who work for government agencies actually on the ground in town in Alice Springs. Now, Eva Lawler made the point that last year, a lot of those people who work for those government agencies, be they the Child Protection Agency or the Education Department, were away over that summer period when we really saw those crime levels spike in Alice Springs. She says she's confident the government has this issue under control. She was speaking at a press conference this morning about these crime issues. It's not just Alice Springs that's seeing this happen, though. We've seen in recent weeks some serious crime issues flare in other regional centres, including Tennant Creek and Katherine. Here's what Eva Lawler had to say today.
No government wants to see crime. Everybody, we want all Territorians to be safe, and I can understand the frustration around crime. I see and hear all of those reports around crime. But in those centres there has, again, like Alice Springs, across the Northern Territory there has been a strong focus on activities, particularly for school holidays, but also we see people come in from remote communities into those bigger centres during that Christmas period.
Eva Lawler's been in the top job for less than 2 weeks after the shock resignation of Natasha Fyles. We are less than 8 months, Jess, away from an election here in the Northern Territory. There's no doubt that crime is going to be a major issue. The opposition has been putting out data showing that there has been increases of more than 200% in property crime in parts of the Northern Territory since Labor came to power in 2016.
That is the number one priority of any government, to ensure that Territorians feel safe. And right now, they do not feel safe. They don't feel safe going to the shops, they don't feel safe catching public transport, and they don't even feel safe sleeping at night in their own homes.
Now, one of the things we saw the Northern Territory government cop a lot of criticism for was its decision in 2022 to allow alcohol back into Aboriginal town camps in Alice Springs and other regional areas. That was a decision that was overturned when Anthony Albanese, the Prime Minister, flew to Alice Springs last January. I asked Eva Lawler, the new Chief Minister, whether she thought that was the wrong decision to allow alcohol to return to those town camps and whether her government was still considering the possibility that alcohol could return to those places. Here's how she responded.
That's a really difficult question, as I said, and I think that's a reflection on just how difficult policy making is in the Northern Territory compared to elsewhere in Australia. I think anybody can understand that people should be able to buy alcohol and be able to drink that in their own lounge room. So whether that's watching a game of footy and having a beer, or whether that's having a birthday party and being able to do that. And in Alice Springs, if you live in a town camp, you couldn't do that. As I said, those restrictions were lifted, but then we saw, as I say, literally a huge spike in domestic violence, a huge spike in crime. So totally unacceptable. It's not what we want to see. And so again, then there had to be a change of policy around that.
A difficult issue, as the new Chief Minister says, Jess, but there is no question that when those alcohol bans were lifted in 2022, we did see dramatic increases, particularly in domestic violence and alcohol-fuelled crime. The government says it believes it has things under control in Alice Springs. Residents there, though, say they're bracing for the possibility we will see further spikes in crime this summer.